Okay, so we had that nasty daily candle, and it actually broke below the low of this one by just a few bucks, and has since been putting in only upward movement. So we could be looking at something like this, some sort of channel maybe. Um, Maybe we will just continue to break down below, but if we look at it on lower time frames, I'm a little less inclined to feel that way. We kind of have, obviously we had this. You can maybe draw it like a channel, kind of, but just let's call it a trend line. Let me just use the trend line instead because we can have a white instead of blue. So you have like this trend line that got broken here, put in another leg down, right? This ends up being one full leg. We end up breaking that trend line and then putting in another leg down. It's possible that we're gonna have something like this. This is possible, but for now, we're looking at one leg down here with a break, another leg down here with a break here, and then a test of the low, double bottom, strong bounce here, um, strong enough bounce to compel this strong move, right? So that could be a one push up, two push up. That could be one push up, two push up kind of thing, or it could be this is push down, second push down, one push up, two push up kind of thing here. Basically, we have a completed correction within this area. And that leads to, as this kind of fails to produce any follow through, like this had a decent follow through up here. This small inside bar caused this bar. This is now your buy signal, so you buy above this bar. We get this kind of small inside bar, not the best because it's a red bar, but the thing is the same. You still buy above this bar. You have a little bit of a less risk now because you can buy above this bar and put the stop, put a little bit of a stop underneath here, so you don't have to risk all the way down here. This long never triggers. This long never triggers. This short, in fact, triggers. You do have grounds to take the short based on we're having some sideways patterning here. So you can take the short underneath here with the stop above, just as you were going to take the long above with the stop below. And then you get this dump, right? This dump doesn't go all the way to the origin. It dumps through this level, through this pump level, but never through this double bottom level. Excuse me. Never through the double bottom level. And now we're just channeling here. So we have this really strong push down here, and now we're doing like a little mini channel within this. Um, I think based on the strength that we're seeing here on this low time frame ish area, I think it's pretty reasonable that we're going to continue upward. Um, 40,000 was the level yesterday. Was that based on the 1 hour time frame? Let me take a look. I had a signal for a trade. I mean, so we saw this happen yesterday, right? We saw this put in here following sharp dump and then sideways possible final flag. It ends up actually being the final flag because now we're pumping, right? Um, and we saw this and said it's possible that this could result in some sort of reversal, but given the strength and momentum here, it's hard to say what are we looking to achieve. We did not expect something like this, right? And we did get that. But what we did get was slow grinding, buying upward. Clearly, excuse me. Clearly no selling momentum. Shorts unwinding here, trying to be trying to push again. This gets spiked up here, so shorts unwinding, trying something, shorts unwinding, trying something, shorts unwinding. Enough shorts unwinding, try, and this is the level where, Everybody said, okay, it's time to go. Like, this is not happening. As soon as we break above this bar here, this is very um, difficult to follow, is it not? Okay, let's start from the jump, right? You get this bar, you get this follow through bar, you get this bar that takes us back to the high here. At this point, you're maybe expecting a push down further, so you're not going to close your shorts. You get this bar here, but the momentum here, excuse me, is strong enough that even this outside down bar ends up becoming a pullback. We push up, we get yet another outside down bar, but it is an outside down bar with some sort of, it looks like there could be sell pressure up here, but there really isn't any because we never follow through, we never break below. So this is actually buying pressure because we bought all the way up to here. This is all buying pressure. Follow through on this, right? Once you get up here, now we're well above this level, right? We've broken to the other side of it. We're actually now one push down, two push down, and then follow through. So we hold that level. We flip that level now officially, right? By this point, I mean, if you're not already of the mindset of it's time to start unwinding the shorts, by the time you get this candle, this one, this big green one, you have to be like, okay, it's time to unwind the shorts, right? So that's why every time dump, high or low, unwind the shorts, dump, break this low, come back to this higher low. In fact, we break this low. In fact, we even break this low too. And then big short trap. Why do the shorts get trapped here? Because we're in this channel here. So like getting out of the channel is not, it's not as likely to produce a dump to the low immediately because it's a tight trading range. Let's get a little bit more intricate here. This is now a tight trading range. Something like this, right? So when we break out of this tight trading range, you are expecting probably, we might be able to run it down to this low, but because of how strong and sloped upward this tight trading range has been, it's more likely that you're going to get something like this, maybe double top, and then start the rounding and then go to the low, right? So we are expecting this candle. We are expecting this candle, maybe not to the extreme strength that we're seeing here, but we are definitely expecting that this is going to result in a pump upward. It's not going to just, this is going to be a pullback. It's not just going to fall off the cliff. So, excuse me. I don't know why I'm so yawny. Anyway, so we get this pump down. Once we're into this range, we're kind of like, I would say that once we get to this, once we push through here, which was above this level, right? And we never take the low, and we break out the other side of the top, right? This outside bar. This is kind of your signal that it's time to be looking for buys. So when you get a pullback, you look for the buy. You get this bar as the first pullback. This is a second little thing, and this is the second bar pullback. This is now 2 attempts down. So you buy above this bar. We get this push up. Again, 1 attempt down, second attempt down, another two push pullback. You buy above this bar now. Let me put signs here. Sign here. Again, 1 bar, second bar pullback. You buy above this bar. That doesn't fill. It ends up putting in yet another one. So we can do the exact same thing here. We buy above this bar instead. We're basically at the point of buy above any bar. And so you get this. Now 1 bar pullback, second bar pullback. we're testing the levels and flipping the levels. Because we have this strong push that goes through the top of the channel, it may not be the case that we're looking to buy above every bar necessarily, like here, like since we have this pullback here, it may not be the case that we're looking to buy above this pullback. We're pretty happy to get in a buy here. You probably have layered bids because we flipped this level, right? So somewhere on one of these three horizontals, you're probably looking for buys. Maybe we don't buy this one up here just because it's kind of, excuse me, kind of dojis. It's almost a barbed wire. Two dojis, and this is like a really strong candle. But this bar itself is a 1 bar trading range, right? From the low here to the high here. We've now entered a new range, new horizontal range. So then you have this bar, and then you get this bar, same kind of thing. Now this is confirmed barbed wire. And this is also confirmed part of the barbed wire. I mean, there's still 20 minutes left. Maybe it's going to start pushing. Like if it pushes up towards 40,500, then maybe you can have a inside bar setup on this kind of thing, even though we've taken the low already. I think because we've taken the low, it gives it more confidence because our expectation in barbed wire is that any sort of breakout is going to fail. So it looked like this breakout has failed. And then if we end up pushing up towards 40,500s, you can take a long above that, expecting to get to this level on the next candle or two. Otherwise, the barbed wire remains. And even if we do push up, because this is still barbed wire, we don't necessarily expect this to sustain here. And we might still come back into this area and start respecting this trading range that this candle has built. That being said, even if we do that, that's probably going to be more bullish than anything because we're still respecting this sort of channeling, and eventually we'll probably get, just in the same way that this we had nice momentum and we kind of broke out and then pushed up, we might do the same thing here where we continue this, nice momentum, break down, pull back buying opportunity, and then we take a shot at these highs, 41,500, possibly up to 42K. So this is kind of what I'm looking at right now. This is probably what I would guess is the most likely scenario to play out at this time. Maybe we don't always get all the way up to the high, but I think we are going to push up a little bit higher. And eventually we have to start doing, like, the same way that we're channeling up this way, we need to start making some momentum in this direction. And the only momentum we have at this time in that opposite direction is this, which is quite sharp, but it's only a pullback. It's only pulling back what we did on this bar. So at this time anyway, until we can continue to break down to the lower side, to the 39s, I guess. This is probably looking like it wants to move up just ever so slightly. This is still very strong. And like we said, this is looking like a possible trend line here. And it's honestly looking like a possible channel as well this way. So kind of have to be a little bit careful. Could be at the top of the channel with this really strong outside up bar that could very easily fail because it's not really a trend bar per se. It doesn't have really a lot of strength. There's clearly a lot of selling pressure up here, although there is buying pressure down here. So really have to see what type of follow through we get on this bar for us to make a decision as to whether this is going to be like an outside bar in a trend that propels us upward, or if it's going to be kind of in a trading range that we have to, just kind of chop through for a little and then maybe do something like that. Who knows? So that's what we're going to keep an eye on for the foreseeable future, at least the next few hourly candles. I mean, these are barbed wire candles, and this is, it was green and looking like maybe it wants to, like if it wants to push up, it could maybe consider something a little bit above. But if it's going to close red like this, like red doji, then it's just more likely that we kind of chop in this area and need to be patient to find some sort of play. So yeah.